Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with Shoto Todoroki. Thank you for having me here. Shoto, how do you feel on your upcoming fight against Anderson Silva? We just wrapped up a press conference yesterday. But I feel good. Feel ready. You actually called me for this interview yesterday after the press conference, but I went straight into training camp. But everything is so far so good. Okay. Now, Todoroki, people have been saying that you've been cherry picking your opponents and you haven't been fighting the most elite fighters. I mean, you had that good fight between Kobe Covington, but people still discredit you for what you've done in the sport. What is your response to that? I say it doesn't really matter what the people think. Hey, I'm fighting, I'm making money, and they're just sitting on their asses all day, not doing shit. But, yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't really listen to the negative energy. That's not what I feed on. I'm mostly focused on what I got in my game plan and just to fight. Okay. Now, Shoto Todoroki, I know that you've seen the brawl between Twisted Wolf and Dylan Dennis at the press conference, and you got nearly crossed into the crossfire. How do you feel? I mean, Dylan Dennis is Dylan Dennis. There's nothing new between him. Look, Twisted Wolf looks very focused. I respect him for that. I mean, after seeing that fight with Lobit and all that, I feel like I can beat him because there's a lot of stuff that's exposed in his game plan. But I wish him the best of luck against Dylan Dennis and all that. And yeah. Now, would you ever consider a fight with Dylan Dennis? I'm sorry, but I would never fight Dylan Dennis. I feel like the most thing that he would do is just try to throw stuff and try to get into my head, but it's not gonna work on me. I have too much respect for people. If people wants to bring out the anger in me, they're gonna see what happens when we get in the ring. Okay. Now, Todoroki, Mario recently said that you don't fight anybody in your weight class and you're not fighting real opponents. What is your thoughts on that? I mean, Mario, I don't really care what Mario has to say. I'm like ahead of him because the last opponent that he fought was against Daffy Duck, and he stopped fighting after that. But who knows? Maybe he'll get. Who knows? Maybe I'll fight him in the future. I'm mostly focusing on becoming a world champion and for the cruiserweight division, and yeah. Okay. Now, Shoto Todoroki, what is your game plan is going to be for this fight against Anderson Silva? Because I know you have to drop down in weight, and I know that you had you have a few months to get in shape. I mean, I'm okay, but coming all the way down to 185 to fight Anderson Silva is not a problem for me because I've been going down that weight for some times. But my most comfort weight was like at 190, 195. But I understand why that they want me to be in that weight class, just because of Anderson Silva's weight. But the game plan is still going to be simple. I'm going to try and get the victory like I always do. Okay. Speaking of going down in weight and all that, we know that your original fight was supposed to be against Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia pulled out due to an injury. And what is your response on that? My response on that is I wished him a speeding recovery. And it sucks. I was very upset and pissed off that he had to pull out of the fight due to an injury. I wish him a speedy recovery. Don't get me wrong, but I was very excited to fight Ryan Garcia. Now, there's a lot of people who criticize about your boxing. What do you have to say in that? I mean, fight the opponents that I face. Fight my very first opponent, Tails. Fight fight like my opponents. Fight Bonnie. Fight Tails. Fight who else? Leonard. Fight Nightmare Bonnie. Fight Anthony Taylor. Fight Kobe Covington. Fight all of those names and see where it gets you. Because when I first had my first ever bout, don't get me wrong, I completely dominated Tails, but I didn't care about what other people think. I didn't care about what other people say. I'm just here to fight and accomplish my goals. But if people want to keep on talking bad about me, just fight my opponents. Let's see where it gets you. All right, one final question. What is going to happen on September 6th? Me getting my hand raised and seeing a new world champion coming soon. All right. Thank you, Shoto Todoroki, for coming on this interview. And good luck on your fight on September 6th. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this interview. We'll see you soon for Fight Week.